Starting with you heard her. Hi, hello, and good evening. And
Shalom, Erev Tov, how are you?
Erev Tov Shalom. I'm great, and I'll soon know where is your Hebrew from. But
My Hebrew, I picked it up over the years, I went to Eurovision in 2019 in Tel Aviv, and I picked it up. But no, actually, I have some family in Israel. I have some
where?
family living in Beit Zayit. So,
Oh,
when you do, you've got to pick up some words here and there. But אני לא מדבר עברית, אני מדבר קצת עברית. That's about the extent of it.
but your accent is brilliant. So I'm Oded, and this is Eurovision IL, and welcome to our show, to our interview, to our meeting, to our whatever.
Sounds
Uh,
great. Nice to be
so
here. Tודה רבה.
you're more than welcome. Thank you for joining us. So we have some questions were picked up from the group, and some will be here in the chat. And I hope my English will go fluently as possible during this interview. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure it'll be fine. My English is pretty bad too, so you don't
Oh,
have to
come
worry.
on. Oh, come on. I have some surprises. I've made some research. Hopefully, we'll talk about them in a bit. So, who are we? We
Sounds
are,
good.
we are 8,000 Eurovision fanatics in Israel. A lot, a lot. And you are Australia's representative to the Eurovision.
We are
Are you excited?
beyond excited. As a Eurovision fan myself, and having been to Eurovision as a fan to Tel Aviv in 2019, it just cemented the fact that we needed to do this. This is such a great event, and I'm beyond excited. It's already been crazy. We've done the pre-parties in Madrid, Amsterdam, and London. I'm so sad that we didn't make it to Tel Aviv, but it's a long way to come from Australia, and we have to be careful with our time and money and resources and things like that. But it's been such a ride so far, and it's just continuing. And I'm beyond excited. All of us are.
I've watched all of your promo shows, Amsterdam, and you've been brilliant, brilliant. You sound great on stage.
It keeps getting better, I think. Madrid was a bit messy. Amsterdam was more solid, and London was, I think, probably one of the best ones in terms of, you practice it, you get your performance right, your in-ear mix is getting better. It's all a big rehearsal for the biggest show on earth, really, which is
Mhm.
coming up soon.
Indeed. What should we expect on stage? Share some secrets.
So I think can't share any secrets, but we're going to do something a little bit extra. We have to because it's Eurovision, so we have to. You can see, if you watch the shows, you can see that we bring the energy already. It's an energetic show. There's already 5 people on stage, so you want to make sure that it's enough, but not too much. But then at the same time, it's Eurovision, so you kind of go a little bit too much anyway. So we are hoping to do the staging that represents what we do. It's the 80s kind of synth metal kind of style, but also put something a little bit extra into the show, which unfortunately I can't tell you. Sorry,
Oh,
slicha.
it's only between us and 8,000 Eurovision
Oh
fans.
yeah. That's good. Israelis are very good at keeping a secret. I know that.
Yeah,
So
indeed. You've heard about us. Okay.
I
Uh,
know about you guys for sure.
yeah. And you'll meet some of us in Liverpool. So you're kind of full of surprises. As I said, I've done my research, and your rock band. How do you describe
We're
your
not.
style?
I mean, no, I don't think so. Like Måneskin is a rock band. We're a metal band essentially. It's metal. It's metal, but it's synth metal. It's melodic. It's 80s. It's poppy, but still at the very core metal.
Mhm. So how did you become a Eurovision fan? Let's say.
From a
You
very early age, I was always introduced to Eurovision songs. I was kind of classically trained on piano and violin, and Eurovision was kind of the only insight into pop music that I really had from a very early age. And then when we migrated to Australia in 1992, it just kept being a part of life, university parties, and then going to Eurovision in 2019. It just kind of kept being such a big part of my life that here we are, and it's just beautiful that my worlds now merge into one, and I'm able to combine all the things that I've been doing, you know, as a separate metal band career with 7 albums and lots of world tours, and then combine it with my love for Eurovision. It's like it's 2 dreams come true at the same time.
Actually, talking about combinations, Voyager was formed in 1999, which it was the same year that Israel hosted the Eurovision. Do you see the connection here?
I love it. I love it.
Sure.
I see connections absolutely everywhere, and it's great. It feels like all these things in my life. You know, I'm a very international person. I've got, you know, family everywhere in the world. I speak a couple of languages, and I'm interested in different cultures and languages and things like that. And it's all coming together. It's this beautiful, like, pardon the pun, but it's united by music that really rings true with me this year. And it's yeah, it's like all my lives have come together into these beautiful moments of 2023.
And Eurovision is quite diverse in music influences.
Yes.
We've got it all. We've got it all, especially this year. Tell me a bit about Voyager. How did you get into the group? Actually, you established it. So
yeah, I mean, it was at university. There was not many people doing melodic metal with keyboards and things like that, and I was very, very much into it. So I decided to start a band, and you know, we did the sort of campus bands competition type thing, and then we got picked. We did an album. We got picked up by a Dutch label. We did a festival in the Netherlands, which sort of was the biggest thing we'd done outside Australia, and then more albums, tours, you know, and then it just kind of grew steadily and steadily and steadily. And we got a really good following around. And the current lineup that we have now has been around for about 12 years. So it's a very solid lineup. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. And we've recorded 4 albums in this lineup. We've toured Japan, USA, Mexico, Indonesia, you know, all of Europe, UK. Haven't been to Israel yet, unfortunately, but we have toured with an Israeli band called Orphaned Land, which we're big fans of. So hi, Corby and crew. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's been a long journey, and it's been a lot of hard work, but it's been such a ride ever since. And this lineup, as I said, is very solid, and I would not want to do this with anyone else.
Brilliant. Now, a few questions from our group members. Why did you just pick rock? Was it your first decision to pick rock as your... Oh, sorry, it's not rock.
It's metal. Yeah, well,
metal?
I went from... No, I did, yeah. I went from classical music. A lot of classical music is drama and rock, and rock anyway, if you listen to Vivaldi and all that sort of stuff. And then I kind of... Yeah, I went from that to like extreme, like death metal and like black metal and all this like crazy stuff, because it was such an extreme. But there's actually a lot of overlap there, because it's all drama in the end. There's a lot of neoclassical stuff in there. So I've always liked heavy guitars. I've always liked heavy chunky riffs. I've always liked that precision that comes with metal. I'm not actually a huge fan of rock music, to be honest, because it's all a bit loose and a bit too all over the place for me. I like the precision of metal, and there's like a Swedish band called Meshuggah, who's just, you know, they're so precise. It's so almost, it's like mechanical engineering, you know, and I love putting that at the bottom and putting this sort of soulful pop stuff at the top. So I've always been drawn to metal as a sound, and it's never left me. I've softened a little bit in my older years, but I'm still very much into metal.
Okay. So this was Leroy's question, actually. I will give some credits here. Okay, Avia is asking, by the way, one of your biggest fans in the group, loves you a lot.
Thank you.
She's asking, after Eurovision, doing this tiny little competition, you know, very, very, very tiny. What's your next plan? What are your plans for the future?
So the next plan is we actually have a new album that's going to be released in the next couple of months. We've had it sitting there waiting to go, and then we got asked to do Eurovision, and of course, then we had to change our plans a little bit. Well, we have a fantastic new album coming out, which we're very, very proud of, and we can't wait to release it. We're going to do an Australian tour at the end of June, and then we're going to do another European tour in October to promote the album. And then who knows? Who knows what we're going to do?
Come to
Who
Israel?
knows? I would love to. It's honestly, it's a dream, and that's why I'm so sad that we couldn't come to the Tel Aviv pre-party. But it would be nice to come and play a proper show, maybe with Orphan Land, maybe with my favorite band of all time, Infected Mushroom, if they're around, if they're coming back to the home country. But you know, there's a great fan base in Israel, and I would love to come. I love going there. It's such a great place, and I always have a good time. So maybe on the next agenda, if Eurovision propels us to being millionaires, then maybe we can afford to come to Israel as well. It's just a stop over to Europe, right?
Sure. We are Europe.
Yes, in some ways, yes, in some ways, not.
No, I'm just kidding. But Australia and Israel, we are the same, you know. Yes, we're Europe. Call us Europe. We are Europe. We are Eurovision. So we're kind of guests that won't leave, actually.
Yeah, of course. It's like, you know, if Azerbaijan can be in it, then I think Australia and Israel can be in it too. Why not? We come before Azerbaijan in the alphabet anyway.
True, indeed. Yeah, and Israel was first. 50 years of Israel in the Eurovision. What, you know? By the way, what's your most favorite song of all times in Eurovision?
Of all time, it's really hard to say. I mean, I really like. I think it's the late 70s. Teach In with Ding a Dong. That's such a cracker number. I don't know if you know that one, but I think it's Netherlands. I can't remember the year. That was one of the first sort of songs that I remember as a child.
75.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah,
you know. I love Sylvia Knight, 2006, I think. Congratulations, I Have Arrived. That's a cracker. I love Dana International. That was amazing. There's so many like really bizarre ones like Slavko Montenegro 2016, I think it was. I loved Elnur in Sarmir, Azerbaijan, like 2008. That was crazy. Day After Day, all this like crazy devil angel type stuff. God, there's so many. Lordi was fantastic. Bulgaria, I really like Polly Genova with her that was like 2016. I can't remember. There was so many. I loved it all. I'm a big fan.
Wow. The knowledge is there. You know this stuff.
I know the stuff. Most of it anyway.
Okay, and this year, did you happen to hear all the songs this year?
I did. I've heard it, and I've heard them obviously for the performers who've been at the pre-parties who've been performing. There were some real crackers, I have to say. Austria with the Hella Zedger is fantastic. The one that's been really growing on me is Riley, Breaking My Heart. I love it. It's just the production. It's just this groove. And every time I hear Vesna with My Sister's Crown, it's such an emotional song. I just think it's so beautiful. And, you know, those girls together on stage from all the different kind of Slavic countries singing in different languages, Bulgarian, like Ukrainian, Czech. That's a really beautiful song. But there's so many good ones. Like Blanca Paloma is brilliant. Israel's entry is fantastic. It's phenomenal. There's so much good stuff. I love it.
Oh, you are going to enjoy stuff. By the way, tell us a bit about the behind the stage. What are you doing when being on the promo tours behind the stage while others are performing?
Yeah, so there's so many interviews, there's constant content that you've got to do. It's really like a bit of a political campaign. You know, you've got to get out there, you've got to show yourself, you've got to show what you're about so that people get to know you in the social media. And that's the fun part. You know, we love doing little covers of different songs, little versions of different songs. That's the musical part that we really, really enjoy. So there's a lot of content creation, and the interview schedule is just crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. So when things are fun, they're still stressful, but at least they're fun.
But okay, so what's the question that you were asked a lot of times, and actually you're fed up with it? What's your least favorite question?
Oh, I'm not fed up with it, but you get asked a lot. You know, when you got announced to do Eurovision, what was your feeling? I think we've been asked that every single interview. And look, it's still a fun question to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well.
I can tell you, we felt amazed, overwhelmed, and just it still hasn't sunk in, and it's sunk in now that we're doing it. But I think once we enter that room and see the stage, that's when it will really hit us that we're actually here doing Eurovision after, after being a band for almost 20 years. That's that real moment.
Now, this is your opportunity to ask yourself the question that no one does on the interview. Is there one?
Nobody does. Nobody asks me the question.
Yeah.
They never asked me the question. Actually, no, someone has asked me that question. Someone's asked me the question, why is metal good for Eurovision? And I think it's such a good question because, and I wish people asked it more, because metal is drama and it's theater, and Eurovision is drama and it's theater. So it's the perfect blend. Actually, one question that no one's asked me is about how melodies pop into my head. Because when you're writing songs, you've got all these melodies. And sometimes I just want to tell people I could be sitting in the shower, I could be looking at a wall, and something just pops into your head, And it's like, okay. And then A, you hope that it's a good melody. B, you hope that no one has done it before, which is a tough one, because there's only so many notes. And C, you hope that melody can be created into what is a song. So I find it really interesting to do the kind of the orchestration behind it, the staging of the song itself. I think the thing I'm missing in some of these interviews is I want to talk more about the song and the way the song was crafted. So that was probably something that I would ask myself.
Let's talk a bit about that, and I have a question that I'm saving it for the last one. But
okay,
let's talk about the song. How did you create the song?
So like what you have to do, I think, when you're writing a song, you've got to imagine, especially when you're writing for a stage, you've got to imagine what are people going to think in the beginning. Do you go in like all the way, like Cha Cha Cha, for instance, in Finland, or which is amazing, or do you stage it? Do you take people on a journey? And I'm a big believer of taking people on a journey. Yes, it's only 3 minutes long, but you've got to introduce it. You've got to have mystery. So people who've never seen this before, they can look at it and go, what's this? Okay, I like it. And then you go, all right, let's open it up a little bit. And then you kind of go, let's give them that bang that they don't expect. And they go, oh, this is a rock song or a metal song, whatever. And they start bopping along to it, something they can sing along to. Then you pull it back a bit and you push it forward again, recognition value. Then you break it up and you go, this is where the character goes, I've had enough, I'm being crushed, emotionally crushed. And that's when that middle part comes in. And then you crush the stage, you crush the song for a little bit, go really heavy. And then you emerge out of it with this light. And then at the end, you bring it home with a guitar solo that mimics the melody. You bring it home with a guitar solo. And it's got to be a big, sort of rock metal finale ending, which makes the listener feel good when they leave. That you want them at the end of that 3 minutes to go, yeah, what a ride. That's cool. I love that roller coaster ride. And I'm feeling excited and exhilarated, and I want to hear more. And 12 points, of course.
Of course, yeah, because people should vote. I'm not so sure that I've mentioned it on record, but your song is one of my favorites this year. And thank you for giving it to us. And that's exactly what I felt. What a ride! God, they do what they're doing. It's so much fun. It is so many emotions. Sorry. So
you do exactly right. That's exactly what you want. You want the person to feel like they've come with you on a journey. You want to draw them in, and it's that real voyage. It's like you're going for a drive, and then it's like something exciting happens. Your favorite song comes on, and you're cruising along, and then it's like, oh God, and you're swerving, and then and then you're like, it's all good. Everything's going to be all right. And that's kind of the message as well. It's like this world is chaotic. There's so much going on, so much uncertainty. And sometimes it's nice just to have someone or something to go, hey, it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. And people can relate to the song. We've got mail from fans who've said my autistic child who is non-verbal reacts to that song.
Wow.
Like, that's phenomenal stuff. I can't even begin to imagine how that would feel for a parent. I've had another email today from someone whose child is undergoing, somebody's got some genetic disease, and you just never know if the child's going to survive or not. And this mum was saying that when she listens to the song, "Promise Me It's Going to Be All Right," that gives her that solace that it's going to be fine. Just the voice. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, just a voice to reassure you that it's going to be fine. So I think that's really powerful, and that's kind of what we wanted to achieve with this song as well, lyrically, as well as making people feel like it is going to be all right at the end, which is why you need that big positive finale.
And God knows we all need this.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do. We're about to we're coming into the end of our interview, but there are some questions that needs to be asked.
Sure.
You're a lawyer. No, you're
So
a
they say.
partner. You're a partner in a lawyer firm.
Yes, I am.
What?
Look, when I tie my hair up, I look quite respectable. I put on a suit, I look respectable.
Yeah,
they're my two loves, the law and the music. It shows that it's possible to have two lives and two careers, and I love both. I really do.
Do you find? Oh, hey, that's you.
That's me. No moustache though. I must update my photo.
Wow. And do you find yourself getting confused between the court and the?
Yeah, just when I start singing in court sometimes.
That could be very cool.
No, I don't. Look, it's hard sometimes, the right brain and the left brain. But I've never had any issues, and I've got a wonderful business partner, and I've got wonderful staff. Everyone's really supportive, and there are 24 hours in the day. That's plenty of time to do many things.
Well, yeah. One of the things that amazes me is the diversity of people. They can do everything they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, so I have to ask: are you following the bets, the places bets?
I don't. No, I don't. I like, because to me it's not like, it's not that important what the betting community is saying. To me, it's important what the fans are saying and what the fans are feeling. And so I love watching reaction videos. I love watching. I love reading like Reddit posts. I love reading comments on YouTube, whether they're positive or negative. That's what's important to me. The odds, I don't really care. I'm not a horse.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my bet. We're gonna see you in finals. Definitely.
That would be good. I would like that a lot.
Mark my words. And hopefully you'll do great and have a great time on stage. We know that we're gonna enjoy it a lot, seeing you and the band on stage. Best of luck, and thank you so much for joining us. It was a huge pleasure.
Thank you.
And,
thank you. It's a pleasure.
And see you in Israel very soon.
Please. As I said, 2019, I had such a good time. Tel Aviv was such a blast. I love coming there, and it's great. I've got a lot of connections to the country, and it's really wonderful. It's a great place, and sometimes, as you said, you all need a bit of promise me it's going to be all right. I know it's difficult, but we can't wait to play there. We do have an invitation to come and play. When, I don't know, but it's an absolute dream. So it's been a pleasure to be here. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
And
bless
you and good luck.
Laila Tov.
See you soon. Laila Tov. Bye-bye.
Bye.